Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone Live. I did have another intro set up, but unfortunately, that intro, it's telling me that intro is actually too big. So I'm gonna try get it sorted, but yeah, we had a special intro actually made by Bad Wolf 66, so I actually feel a little bit bad that we couldn't use it tonight. But we will sort it out at some stage. Sorry I'm a bit late. I was watching the disaster that was the Manchester United match. I am a Manchester United fan. So yeah, we got beaten 2-0 by Burnley. So I'm not in the best of form today. So as it's only me, I'll probably just do about an hour or so. So we'll talk about, obviously, the Doctor Who ratings are an all-time low. Obviously, fans have been talking about that the last couple of days. Now, I have seen a lot of defenders of this era saying that ratings don't matter at all. Even if they go down under 3 million, BBC will not care. I think they will, in all fairness. But what you call it? We will discuss all of that anyway. What else? Shouldn't it be Teddy Terrier Glynn? No. It's just Teddy the Terrier. Isn't that right, little fella? There he is there. Hello, little buddy. Come here. Oh, there he is. Hold on. We'll put him on so you can have a little glance of him as he is part of the little intro. Hold on. Calm down. There he is. Look. Hold on. There he is. Guys. There he is. He's not happy at the moment for some weird reason. Here, say hello to everybody. Yeah. I don't know why he's acting like that, but he's sorry about that, folks. So yeah, the ratings at an all-time low, 30 odd years or something. Someone was saying, yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, you look at as I said, by the way, Jason Scott that does Beyond the Panel actually put his first video up. So go and check out his channel if you haven't already. And he talks about it. And you know, he made some interesting points, but it just reminded me of something because he made a new Coke and an old Coke analogy, and then it kind of got me thinking. Well, he did make the point that everybody preferred old Coke, which is fair enough. That is true, but everybody the thing is that everybody, even though new Coke apparently was the better drink, everybody preferred old Coke because they were used to it. It's the same with Doctor Who. We're used to the role being a certain. It's always been a man. When you all of a sudden then change that, people are just used to familiarity. So when they go and do something as radical as this, obviously, it's going to be a bit. It's going to cause a bit of controversy. So let us know what you guys think actually about that. As you can see, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And obviously, it's hosted by me. I didn't even know you could put a little scrolly thing on the bottom of this. See, I'm only learning new things every day on this thing, which is good. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how everybody is still feeling after last Sunday. I mean, for me, it's just nothing happened in the episode. I don't know if anybody has seen Critical Drinkers video, but everybody has praised Critical Drinkers video because I think he has summed up Chris Chibnall's era perfectly. And if you haven't seen it, you have to go and check it out. Now I'm going to try get him on the channel because I'm very interested. Also, I'd just like to say I am live streaming simultaneously on Keep the Doctor Mail on Facebook. So if there's anybody from that Facebook group that is watching, please drop us in a comment and we will actually read out the Facebook comments. So if you are watching, let us know who you are, where you're from if you want. And, as I said, we will give you a shout out there. Apparently, Bad Wolf has said that he's given me. Have you sent that by email, Bad Wolf? Just to double check. We'll see if we can use the new outro for the end of the stream. Yeah. Both the intro and outro can debut. Oh, there we go. Right, well, hold on. You sent it to me on Messenger, so if real quickly, just give us a second, guys. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. So here, while I'm waiting to do this, I will give a few shout outs on the channel, see who has actually joined us tonight. So we have some of the usual faces here tonight. I'd like to welcome you all. We've got Gary, who's just popped in right now. We've got Daniel. We've got Colin. We've got Bad Wolf 66, as we've mentioned. We've got Crystal. Welcome, Crystal. Who else have we got? We've got Leland as well. Welcome, Leland. Nice to have you here. We've got Charlotte Shields here as well. Welcome, Charlotte. We've got Max, who says Ollie out. It's not all his fault, but yeah, he makes some weird decisions. Jack May for 18, welcome. Kerboy 12, welcome. And who else have we got? Lee Anthony Davis. And that is unless we'll see now when we go down the end. I think I've called everybody out, and everybody has been called out. Welcome all. I hope your week is actually going well so far. Mine is, except for tonight's result in the football, but we can forget about that. So guys, I don't know. I mean, I've kind of lost all interest now at this stage. Myself and Cheryl will be doing a classic stream. We're going to do it obviously on this, and we're going to be live streaming on the Tardis Zone official classic group. We've got over 1,000 members in that group, so I'll be live streaming simultaneously on both YouTube and on that classic stream when we do it. It'll probably be sometime next week when we do that. Obviously, after the fallout of Sunday's episode, we might do something different for next week just to cheer up fans a bit, because we know that you are all feeling a little bit down at the moment, and I wouldn't blame you. It's an absolute shit show, to be quite honest with you. And I'm actually getting sick and tired of do you know what? It's just the blatant fact that they don't give a crap about the show's. He just doesn't give a crap about the show's history, Chris Chibnall, and it's actually, it's sad because he claims to be this fan of the show, and he clearly isn't. Because nobody would write the crap that he's writing. I'm being honest, nobody would write that stuff. it's just I just don't know what to say anymore. To be quite honest with you, it's just getting to the stage where I just want to say, listen, BBC, make the decision that needs to be made, and that decision is Chris Chibnall needs to be fired. And you know, at the end of the day, it's such an easy solution that it actually baffles me that BBC won't. Now, Tony Hall, as you all know, we were on the stream here when I was reminded, Tony Hall, obviously from the BBC director, has stepped down. Now, that has made a lot of people happy. But the problem is, if you look at the candidates that are taking over, well, maybe Tony Hall was probably the last line in defence, because if you look who the people that are taking over and what they're talking about doing, well, the BBC, if you think the BBC is woke now, it's going to get worse. I'm just seeing Stuart has popped into the chat there. Welcome, Stuart. So it's not going to get any better anytime soon. And that's the problem that we actually have right now. How much more can Doctor Who take before the BBC right, enough is enough, and they try and salvage this train wreck? I mean, I just get into the stage now where every time I see anything related to this era, I just cringe. Even the way Manip talks on Twitter, all of Jodie Whittaker supporters, it's just fans of this era as well. I mean, for example, right, there's a particular Twitter person out there. This guy's obsessed with me, right? So I put it up on my Twitter account, I think, and I put it up. They were talking about classic episodes, taking all the racist elements out of the classic episodes or something. Something to that effect they're at. And this guy's so obsessed, like they're so obsessed. They have this thing, they call me racist, transphobic, and all this. And there's actually another person going out there, actually going around Twitter right now and begging people that know me not to follow me because I'm a racist, I'm sexist, I'm bigot, and transphobic, right? Now, this is the kind of behavior. And you look at these guys, right? These both lads that I'm talking about are in their mid-20s, right? So they're little assholes that have no life experience. And they need to stop going around like spreading rumors and actually slandering me. A couple of people have actually pulled them up on it. You do know the stuff that you're saying about me is slanderous and that you could actually get into trouble for what you're saying. Unless you have any evidence to prove that I'm actually transphobic, I'm racist, I'm a bigot, I'm sexist, I'd like to see that evidence if you have it. If you don't have that evidence, then shut the fuck up. I'm entitled to my opinion, just like everybody else is entitled to our opinion, including a little runt like you two, right? So, instead of like asking if it was me that wrote that, why don't you actually tag me and ask me to my face? Because I think the last time we had a conversation, I made it clear to you that if you had anything to say to me, both of you were to say it to me face, but you're still carrying on behind me back. Now, at the end of the day, luckily nobody is listening to you. But what you are doing is slanderous. So if I were you, this fandom has lost the total plot, right? But idiots like you don't help the fandom either. And you need to keep your mouth shut when people actually have different opinions to you. If you don't like an opinion like mine, because I say Series 11 was bad and Series 12 is going to finish the show, right? That's my opinion. You don't agree with that, that's fine, fair enough. You're entitled to not actually agree with my opinion. But what you do not have the right to do is go around and slander someone because they do not like something that you happen to like. If you like crap, right? If you like eating shit, if you like looking at shit, that's fine, fair enough. I don't. I actually like some intelligent sci-fi. And that's the difference between me and you idiots, is that you don't get it, you will never get the show, and people like you will be a thing of the past because It's already happening. Fans are walking away, and even these so-called people that are fans of this era are walking away because it's a boring pile of crap, and nobody wants to watch anything that's boring and preachy and telling the audience that she should get up off their arses and do something about climate change. No, that's not up to us, right? Yes, we could do things to make it better, but it's up to our governments and everybody else to get their act together. All right, we don't need Doctor Who to be preaching to us about that sort of shit, right? That's what we have those political programs for and all those climate programs for. That's what they're there for, to educate us. Doctor Who is there to entertain us, right? And I'm sick of these newer fans saying, but Doctor Who used to teach stuff from the historical years ago. Yeah, it did. And then the Daleks came along and that changed all that. Right, I'm not saying we shouldn't have historical episodes, but under Chibnall, I'd advise not, because he actually disrespects historical characters. He never does them justice. And do you know what? The one thing that's startling is when I see new fans say, I've learned a lot about Tesla. I've learned a lot about Edison. I didn't know that. What did you learn? What actually did you learn about Tesla? And what did you actually learn about Edison? You learned absolutely nothing. They name dropped a couple of places and you saw a bit of fiction. You didn't see anything, real dialogue or anything like that, right? It was absolute shambles. He doesn't pay any historical characters with any respect. He doesn't treat any LGBTQ characters with any respect. He doesn't treat any of the canon or the law with any respect. So, I mean, this is the guy that they've gotten to write Doctor Who, and this is the guy that is actually throwing this show down the gutter. And you know what? These newer fans sicken me, because deep down, right, they're following the show. They're coming out and doing what they're doing because they want Doctor Who to fail. They want Doctor Who off the TV because Doctor Who represents something, right? It's got a male in the role for over 50 years, right? The only reason why they wanted a female in the role was because there was a man in the role previous for the last 50 odd years, right? They wanted to change that. They didn't change it for the betterment of the show. They changed it for politics. Absolutely ridiculous. It's a joke. It's shambles. And I'll tell you something, I am not looking forward to next week's episode at all. I don't know about you guys at all, but this is just absolutely ridiculous. I actually asked the question on my Twitter account. If you saw on my Twitter account, I left the poll up and I said, do you think Series 12 ratings will recover, or will they continue to decline? Right? So let us know in the comments there, guys, if you think... Hold on, I'm just seeing something there. What's this? Right. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any names either. Gary. We got Cubic Volume in the chat. Welcome. Conrad in the chat as well. Welcome. Stuart Bowers is in the chat as well, and Nicholas Horton is in the chat as well. But we didn't. I mean, I don't know. I just getting disillusioned with this show every week. It's on TV, and it's actually sad because, you know, it's a show that, as I've said, a lot of us have grown up and watched since we were a kid, and for some of us, that's decades. Like, that's the thing. It's decades. It's not like, you know, since 2005. You know, this is decades. You know, this is decades of our life. You know, buying merchandise, watching the show evolve as well. All this business is about, you know, about the fact that that the show needed to be reinvented somehow is a lot. It actually annoys me. The the show never needed to be reinvented because the show reinvents itself all the time. I mean, it wouldn't have had the history that it has. It wouldn't have went on TV for as long as it has if for some weird reason those videos that Bad Wolf 66 has done for me are not working. That's the second intro now that he's had to send to me that actually doesn't work. I don't know what to do there now. Right, we'll have to sort it out, but it's not working, Bad Wolf, because I can see her in the chat there. It's not working again. I don't know. We'll sort it out though. We'll figure something out. I mean, that's what I mean. Someone just mentions there 50 years hiding behind the sofa. I mean, like the villains in this series are actually not bad. It's just they're not being utilized properly. I mean, the dregs, for example, were pretty scary looking, right? But there's no point of having monsters look scary looking if they're not actually scary in the actual story that you're telling. It kind of misses the whole point. Richard Martin has also dropped into the chat. Welcome. And as I said, guys, if you're watching me on Facebook right now, some people will be watching me on YouTube, and some will be watching me on the Facebook group. The Facebook group on not my Keep the Doctor Mail. Yeah. So if you have any questions there, let me know. Still trying to figure out why this file won't work. Right, let me see, because if someone was telling me, I just want to see Doctor Who ratings. So we're going to get the Doctor Who ratings up, see what the story is. There it is. Right. 31 years. That's a shambles. Right, we've got an article. We might as well do an article while we're on. Because as I said, I couldn't get any guests on tonight because, there was a short notice, and obviously there's a lot of people. It's a Wednesday, so midweek. We have been very lucky to be able to get panels on since I started doing the panels. I don't think we've really missed many. I think this is just the second one. So I don't mind, because it's midweek. Everybody does be busy and stuff. So we'll have a panel on Friday anyway. And then, of course, we'll have the normal panel reviewing this hot mess. And then we'll be getting a lot more videos next week anyway. It's just this week I took it a little bit easier because over the Christmas I did do a lot over the Christmas, to be quite honest with you. While others took a bit of a break, I continued to keep doing videos. Because there's only me and Cheryl anyway, so we didn't have to, we were only going over to the parents Christmas, so we didn't have that much on compared to everybody else. So I was able to get a lot of stuff done over the Christmas and videos and articles and stuff. So yeah, so now I want to show you this article now. It's actually weird. You start using different little things in this StreamYard app, and I see everything goes a little bit slower. Just a tiny bit. Not much. Right. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Right. Can you all still see it? You can see that. Right. Looks very bad. And I thought I knocked this thing off. Right. Right. So Doctor Who's worst ratings in 31 years for Jodie Whittaker, Chris Chibnall. And as you can see there, the article was posted there on the 20th of I hate the way they put the see, where I'm used to having the 21st, then the 01 in the middle, and then 2020. I hate the way they do that. So it's the 20th of the 1st, 2020. There's 55 comments. We might have a look at some of them after this article, after we read this article, just to see how funny they are. We get a bit of a laugh going, what? Right, so Doctor Who is in need of the defibrillator after the show continues to have one foot in the grave, as its latest episode is the worst viewed in 31 years of its 57-year history. Sunday's episode, Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, was only watched by 4.004 million viewers in the UK. We have to go back to season 23 of September 1986 to see lesser amount of viewers, as the Mysterious Planet Part 4 only had 3.7 million viewers tuning in. Sunday's episode of Doctor Who is also the 8th least watched episode of the entire run, which kicked off in 1963, and the lowest watched of the new series. The numbers for Doctor Who have gone down consistently with each new episode, as the series has lost near 1 million viewers since its debut episode for season 12. It's series 12. Okay, serious. Stop saying season. It's serious. It's season for Classic Who. It's serious for Bleed New Who. Series 12 on New Year's Day. Reasons cited for the show's continued demise include bad writing, poor acting, and its woke approach. Fans of Rotten Tomato continue to slam the series, as it only has a 13% audience score. Words cannot describe how bad this is. So many years of grade 2, and now we get this garbage, stated one RT user. We did read some of them. Another long-time fan of the show chimed in. The new Doctor Who is a big disappointment. It's missing all the charm and humor of the older versions. It's far too serious. There are too many companions. The acting is middling. The direction is amateur, and the writing is nothing original. As someone who has been watching Doctor Who for 50 years, the latest Doctor is a major disappointment. Doctor Who should be fun. This version is not. Note, this is not Jodie Whittaker's fault. They aren't giving her much to work with, although I'm not sure she could handle the comic moments of previous series. While true, there is an uptick in DVR viewings. The viewership is still down compared to most popular seasons featuring Matt Smith and David Tennant, and even Peter Capaldi. Note Wiki is including the 7-day viewership for Series 12, not the live viewership like it shows from previous seasons, which is inflating the Series 12 numbers compared to previous seasons. So basically what they're saying is that the numbers are actually not what they are because they've been inflated a little bit. Check out Series 12 numbers to date below. I know it's saying season there, but it's Series 12 in New Who. Doctor Who Series 12 rating. So if anybody from the comic news, book news site is actually listening to this video, it's serious for New Who. It's season for Doctor Who Classic. You will confuse the fans. Episode 1. Actually, I've done these. You've seen these ratings. So there you go. Consistent there. 4.9. Then we got a 4.6 for Spyfall Part 2. Then Orphan 55. We got a 4.19. And then for Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, which was Night of Boredom, was 4.04 million. And yes, that is it. Absolutely a shambles, shambles, shambles. In 31 years of the show, what a travesty. What an absolute travesty. Absolutely a travesty. I just it's sad. It's sad because it didn't even need to be this way. It was so easily fixed. The main problem that we had for years, especially under Moffat's era near the end, was that Moffat should have probably went a year or two before he actually went, because he kind of burned out and ran out of ideas. Now, what should have happened there was, instead of hiring a Chris Chibnall, you should have hired someone else, to be quite honest. I think they made a big mistake. I know there was a lot of fans at the time saying, well, maybe after Chibnall, it should, after Moffat, it should go on a bit of a break. But no, that wasn't the problem. Doctor Who hadn't become stale. People aren't sick of Doctor Who. See, this is the thing. People aren't sick of Doctor Who. What people were getting sick and tired of was the stupid stories, right, that Moffat was starting to produce, you see. And then we had all the PC elements starting to get into his era, right? So it was stagnating for a couple of years anyway, right? But Chris Chibnall was the wrong choice. I think the reason why they picked Chris Chibnall was because BBC's logic was, because they're a bunch of fools, right? Their logic was that the show did need to be reinvented. So therefore, letting him have his female doctor would be radical. You know, this would be the kick up the arse the show would need, right? And if you remember all the articles at the time, and I'm actually laughing at some of these reporters, right? Because some of these reporters now have turned their back on this show, but at the time they were attacking fans, and they were actually saying that the show needed to kick up the arse, right? And that the show needed to be, it needed something because it was getting stale and old, and maybe something like this would win fans over, and it would breathe new life into a tired old franchise. Let me get one thing straight to all you reporters and all you gobshites in the BBC, right? Doctor Who is not a tired old franchise. Doctor Who has been around for over 50 years. That is not a tired old franchise. That is a franchise that has a knack of reinventing itself year in, year out, or whenever it is, every era, right? That's what has made the show successful. What happened was that someone in the BBC either lacks ideas or actually lacks the balls to give it to someone that they know that would actually bring it to another level. You don't give it to Chris Chibnall, because Chris Chibnall's idea, when he pitched the idea to BBC, right, and I was working at the BBC and he said female doctor, I'll say, this is what my reaction would have been. Have you watched the show? And then he'd say, yeah, I have. Okay, well, you know that's not going to fly here in the BBC. Right? That's what I would have said. And you know what then I would have done then? If he had said, well, I'm not taking the job, I'll say, okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. And then I'd interview the next candidate, right? They shouldn't have bowed to his bloody demands either, right? So Piers Wenger, P45, give it to your boss, right? But your boss is leaving as well, so maybe just give it to your boss, and then he can give it to his boss and give it to his boss, right? And then Chris Chibnall, you hand in your P45 to Piers Wenger, and Jodie Whittaker, you hand your P45 into Chris Chibnall, right? And then come out then and do an apology video and apologise to the fans, you bunch of twats. Sick of this. Sick of it. They've ruined the show that only needed minor adjustments, in my opinion. Minor, slight adjustments to make this show good again. And you go with some tick that is trying to make a name for himself because he's embarrassed by Classic Who, and he's ashamed by it, and he's ashamed by the video where he had a go at the producers, Well, we don't give a crap anymore, right? Be ashamed all you want, right? Just get out of this. Just get out of our show, right? And all you fans that support this as well, how dare you? Shameful behaviour. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Call yourselves Doctor Who fans or call yourselves Whovians. You ought to be ashamed of yourself supporting this tripe. For the past 2 years, everybody that supported this tripe should be ashamed of themselves. Look what you've done to a franchise. Chris Chibnall's not just responsible here. The gobshite fans that supported this as well, you are just as responsible for this mess that we're in right now. And you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Every single one of you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Anybody that supported this show and watched this show and said Jodie Whittaker was a great doctor, Chris Chibnall's a great writer, well then you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And I'm being honest, if you thought Orphan 55 was a great episode, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, because even the media themselves are agreeing with the fans that it's one of the worst episodes. So if you like that episode, well then you've got bad taste. As simple as that. It's just as simple as that. You've got bad taste and you actually haven't, you know what annoys me is that some Doctor Who fans have sold themselves out. They've sold themselves out because they want Doctor Who on the screen so much. They want it on the screen. They don't want it to go that they'll support that and they will actually watch it and say that they like it, even though you know deep down that they don't. Be true to yourself. Come out and actually do the right thing. Get behind all of us that are here that are saying that this series is bad. Because I tell you one thing, we have an opportunity now. Tony Hall has left. I told you the BBC were vulnerable and weak. We have a chance to strike at the heart of BBC now and save this show, right? Because if we don't do anything about it, there's going to be no fucking show to save. All right, so it's time that we do it. Keep boycotting the show. As I said, write in your complaints to the BBC. Doesn't matter if they ignore you. BBC are on the ropes right now. When you're in the boxing ring with a fighter, right, and a fighter's on the ropes, do you walk away? Do you? No, you don't. You get in there and you bait the crap out of him until he falls down on the ground. And that's what we're going to do with the BBC. We're not going to stop, right, until there's justice done as well. And until there's a public apology to Peter Capaldi for the way he was spoke to, right? The way he was belittled by the BBC, right? The way he was belittled by Jodie Whittaker fans, right? Peter Davison had to go off Twitter because of these fans as well. I've had enough of it. It's time now that we as a fandom get together. Look at the way they do it in the Fandom Menace, right? They all get together, they all organise, they all have their YouTube channels, they all band together and they made changes. You think we can't make changes? Of course we can. We have the power, remember that. I'm sick. You know what? I used to hate people. For the past 2 years, all I've been hearing off fans is, there's no point in complaining. The BBC don't care. They won't do anything about it. Well, you won't know until you actually do something about it. That's the thing. How do you know, right? Just because if everybody had that attitude, you mean to tell me if BBC got 50,000 letters complaining about Doctor Who that they wouldn't take notice? There's way more Doctor Who fans than that, though. But if Doctor Who fans actually decided enough is enough and sent the BBC an email or a pleading letter, do you think they're going to have to, and do you think they're going to ignore those ratings? Those J-bots, right? All those people that are saying that these ratings mean nothing, right? Deep down, they all know that these ratings do, right? And have you noticed as well that a lot of the J-bots are lashing out now even more than ever? Because they know that their precious little Jodie Whittaker and their precious little show is on the ropes, right? And the reason why it's on the ropes is because you didn't listen to us in the first place. It's because you disrespected us and you disrespected their show and you didn't give a crap about the history or the lore of the show, and you came in, you took over the fandom, and then you made it out that the show was all for you. Well, congratulations. But give yourselves a pat on the back because you have just ruined a 50-year-old franchise. And for what? And for what? Because you want representation. Because you want diversity. Because you want this and that. It's a society gone absolutely off crazy. Remember the time when they used to just give roles to people because they deserved them? Do you remember the time that when you used to go and watch a movie in the cinema back in the 80s and the 90s and you'd go and it'd be fun? You go and watch a movie now and there's some fucking message in it about either the environment or about how women are being treated badly or about the Ethiopians in Africa or whatever. I don't give a crap. That's why we have shows for them. I want to be entertained. Do you know what? I just don't know what's happened with the in the entertainment industry. Do you know what? If there wasn't a load of dirty old men back in the day, right? Then all this Me Too crap and all this other crap that's happening in Hollywood now wouldn't be happening if guys had kept their bleeding willies in their trousers, right? Instead of exploiting young women, then you wouldn't have these vengeful 50-year-old women going out there trying to bleed and tell us all that we're bastards and stuff. Right? I watched Doctor Who last year, right? I was sitting there and saying, geez, I'm a bloke, I'm a bloke, I am. Oh, I'm white, I'm a bastard. Seriously, that's how the show made me feel. The show I've been watching all my life made me feel like a bastard. Oh, I must be bad because I'm white. Must be sick of it. Critical Drinker got a right. Critical Drinker, I like his intro, talks about tells us as men that we're this, that, and the other. He's right. Absolutely 100% right. Right. Yeah, and it's ridiculous. And then you have all these women that support that, and I won't mention them, you know who I'm talking about. And they go around with their man hating, and then they're asking this very same fandom for money so they can go to all the cons. And it sickens me. And they get away with it. And you know what? Their time is coming, guys. The time is coming. Keep your boycott up. And if there's people out there, and you even see them making a comment saying, oh, this week's episode was bad, right? That's your opportunity. Get in there, have a word with them, and convince them to boycott the rest of the show. Word of mouth as well. BBC are depending on word of mouth to get the ratings, right? We're depending on word of mouth and YouTubers out there to spread the word and tell people how bad this actually is, right? So let's do it and write those emails, write those letters, and don't be afraid to do it. Do it. It's time now that we do it. And even the James Bond, yeah, I agree. Richard Martin brings it up. Even the James Bond producer, Barbara Broccoli, whatever her name is, has finally come out and said it. James Bond will remain, 007 will remain male. They're not changing James Bond to a female. So fair play to you, because a bit of common sense in this bloody world. At the end of the day, if women want a female bleeding Bond, make one. Or you want a female bleeding movie like that, don't even call it Jane Bond. Call it like, the female assassin or something or whatever, because it's all about identity. You could call it a female transgender, I identify as a spirit penguin assassin. There you go. There's a movie idea for you all. World gone bleeding crazy. Everybody's labelled. And I hear all I hear is okay boomer. It's not supposed to be an insult when you call someone an okay boomer or whatever. Because if it is, you're a bunch of twats. That's not an insult. I'll show you what an insult is. I'll have you all crying by the end of this bleeding stream. As if you're calling someone boomers. What's that? What's that? And all this millennial crap. What am I? Generation X. Everything's a label. Everything's a label now. You're a label now. Well, you were always a label, but I mean, now you're a label everywhere else, or a number, It's ridiculous. So you're labels when you're alive and you're a number when you die. Yeah. I'm sorry I've gone on one tonight, but you know what? I've had a couple of days to fester about that last episode, and it's just really little things that happened in it are still popping into me head, and it makes me even more disgusted. And you know what? And then I'm seeing people reviewing this, right, and saying how great it is, and I'm like, oh my God, the intelligence of the human race has really... Do you know what? The whole of the human race's IQ has dropped. There's only a few of us that are still smart. Well, well, when I say a few of us, if you look at the Fandom Menace and us, and there's a lot of us, I suppose we're the smart ones. We're the ones that should actually, make the laws and the rules for society, because we would actually make it a fairer place. And this is what these people claim to do, but yet everything that they do is basically, well, men are this and men are that, and we have to be better than men. They talk about equality, but everything that they do is to be better than men. Why can't we just all live together in harmony? There's one, for example. So after the last panel, I had myself. There was myself on it, obviously. There was Blue Bonnet, our husband, and who else did we have on that panel that night?
Your guy from Eddie's.
Yeah, we had a few. Yeah, we had a few people on anyway. But after the live stream, myself and Blue Bonnet and Hoovian were tagged in a. I think someone was sharing me panel, and then someone wrote in the comments underneath that we should kill ourselves. Kill yourself. Sent us a gift. Giphy, is that what you call it? Yeah, of kill yourself. Right. This is the type of thing. I've also been told I hope I die in a car crash. I've been told I hope I'm murdered in my sleep. I've actually been told that Cheryl's having an affair with me brother, and that I'm actually going around like having an affair with bleeding Bob's. Yeah, yeah. Apparently, I'm doing me sister and all this business. This is the type of business. Oh yeah, and apparently, I'm abusive to me dog and me wife. This is the type of thing. Oh, and the latest one now is there's a fella going around, as I said earlier in this stream, going around slandering me on Twitter now, and actually texting people that I'm following. So if you get a text, you will see because they'll just go. But there's a guy texting people that I'm following on Twitter, which is actually ridiculous because since he started texting them, me Twitter account has actually flew through with tweeters. See, they don't realize that when they do things like that, they're actually helping me out because then people go and see for themselves that I'm actually an all right guy. I'm passionate about what I believe in. I'm passionate about Doctor Who, and I won't stop being passionate about Doctor Who. Yes, there is sometimes I do go a little bit overboard, but I'm never going to change. That's the way I am, and I'll never change that because that's who I am. I don't like to see this show. Seriously, I literally after the episode, I was depressed. And Cheryl actually puts a good, I'll put it up there. So I mean, this fandom is just a complete mess, and even after she goes, it's gonna be awful because they're not gonna go quietly. They never do. But they set out to ruin Doctor Who. See, I always thought Doctor Who was safe. How wrong was I? I never thought they'd do it to Doctor Who. I'm being honest. I was one of those fans that thought, no, it's being a man for. Why would they change it now? That was my attitude before Jodie Whittaker was cast. Now, I know they've been murmuring about female Doctor, especially after the Dr. Donna thing. It really blew up. And I thought, oh, okay, but it still won't happen. And then under Moffat, it was rumoured, and then he came out and said, no, it's not going to happen under me. And I thought, it still won't happen. They won't do it because it's too radical. Why would they want to do so? Why would they ruin Doctor Who by doing that? And then finally, what happens? They give the job to one man called Chris Chibnall. And the whole 50-year history of Doctor Who is turned on its head. And this series we have coming up, we're halfway through it now, is probably going to change Doctor Who forever. And that's what terrifies me. is he's gonna do. He's already done mortal damage, but he's gonna damage it beyond recognition. So I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think anyway in the chat there? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys, as well. If you haven't already. And thank you to all the people that have subscribed over the last couple of weeks. We seem to be doing well there now lately. I have to say, I'm not going to complain that it's all gone good right now. But we seem to be doing well, getting new subscribers. So I'm actually pleased about that, and it's great to see so many new people. We've got Heritage Media in the chat there as well, and Raymond O'Reilly has popped in as well. How are you guys? Pazadud is here. Hey, Carrie, nice to have you here. Dario 108 is also here as well. Welcome, you guys and ladies. And I think that was all guys anyway. But if there was any ladies mentioned there, hello everybody. Oh, and instead the wife has popped in, so I'll say hello even though she is here in the room with me. Hello. Yeah. Oh, we had something lovely today. So we were coming home after being in the city centre, and we were walking past this garage petrol station for anybody, or gas station for any of our American friends, and they did slushies. But Fanta slushies and Coca-Cola slushies. I got a strawberry Fanta slushie. I've never had that so lovely in all my life. Cheryl had the Coca-Cola one. What was the Coca-Cola one like? And Cheryl says
it was a Coke slushie for America.
Yeah.
For 7-Eleven, it was Coke slushie.
So yeah, I never had one of them. How come Cheryl does come on? Cheryl was on the other night. She actually did a stream with us. Cheryl will be coming on a lot more because we're going to be doing the classic streams because we want to cheer people up a little bit because we don't want to just talk about the new doom and gloom of this era. So we're going to, myself and Cheryl, well, Cheryl's going to do mostly the review. I'm going to bring her on and then she's going to talk about it and stuff like that because I've seen all of them now at this stage. But we'll watch them again together and then I'll actually then, get her to do a little review on it because I know...
Well, as I said, I don't enjoy being personally attacked, so I'm not often...
Yeah, that's why she doesn't come on because, sometimes when she comes on here, she unfortunately gets some of the crossfire. That's the nice way of putting it. And Cheryl is not. She's one of the nicest and sweetest people I've met. So I mean, the thing about it is, she doesn't take to that sort of. She's not used to it. Is the point I'm trying to make. Whereas I am. I'm battle hardened. Cheryl isn't. And by the way, I should actually make that point. No matter what I do on this channel, actually, if I do it, nobody should be having to go at me wife anyway. If anybody has a problem with me, they should actually talk to me about it and not be talking to me wife about it. Cheryl shouldn't be getting involved. This is my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? So if I do something on this, then it's my responsibility, not me wife's. If Cheryl had her way, she wouldn't even be in the live chat at all. I only ask her to help me out because I know when she's in the live chat, nobody really messes around. Now, Chris is there as well, and we know when Chris is there, everything is fine. And then we do have Chuckzilla as well that does it as well. So, I mean, as I said, if there's a problem with anything I've done on the channel, it should be aimed at me and nobody else. But unfortunately, it hasn't. Cheryl has been caught in the crossfire, and that's why she doesn't really like appearing on the channel that much because she feels if she does, then she's more open to be attacked. And for what, though? That's the thing. And for what? You know what I mean? It's not as if Cheryl doesn't agree with anything I do on this channel, trust me, she tells me anyway. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Cheryl knows the kind of person I am. I've got my own mind, and I don't listen to anybody. Okay, and I deal with the consequences myself, right? The problem is that it shouldn't be filtering down to me wife. So I just thought I'd get that out there. I'm not having to go at anybody. I'm just saying if I do anything on this channel that people don't agree with, it's
Don't make terrible
it,
pictures of me.
yeah, it's me that you should be coming to, not me wife. It's as simple as that. And Cubic Volume says, my wife isn't even on YouTube for those reasons. Exactly, because unfortunately, you know, it's not just you that they attack. They go and attack everybody else around you, and it's not nice. It's not nice. I've had it from the J-bots a lot now, and some of them have even had to try go at Cheryl like for no reason, you know. And Cheryl is quite more less. You know, Cheryl's less militant than I am. So, like, I don't know why she even gets it, to be quite honest with you, because she's one of the nicest people in the fandom. You know, it's ridiculous. Oh, Cheryl, I put this comment up for you because it's directed at you. Oh, you've already replied to it, have you?
I have, which one?
Okay, it's up on the screen.
The Karate Kid. I'm just in chat because you don't have a picture up, so there's no reason why. I don't know. I watch you anyway because you're in the same room. I just watch the chat.
Oh yeah. Well, that would be a bit weird if you actually watch me while you're in the same room as me. Yeah. But as I said, you know, it is. See, but it's the whole package. It's not just the show. It's the negativity it brings, right? And I don't want to be sitting here every week bashing the show that I love. And a lot of the YouTubers out there that do videos on it that are genuinely Doctor Who fans, like Gary, like Ballstreck and others, that actually, you know, that have been talking about Doctor Who throughout the year. Are not only, I've noticed actually something, you know me, I don't hold back, but I've noticed, right, that there's YouTubers out there that haven't spoke about Doctor Who at all for the last year. And all of a sudden now, because Doctor Who's a shit show, some of these YouTubers have decided to capitalize on negativity and actually use that, right? Me, I've been talking about Doctor Who for the past, since the series started, right? Back again in 2005. Obviously, that was on Facebook, and then I joined YouTube then, and I start doing videos, especially after Series 11 start going up. But what annoys me is these YouTubers that pretend to be fans, and you can actually see that they're not fans because they only talk about the main points that people have a gripe with in their videos, but they don't actually go into the nitty gritty. So they're basically just using PowerPoints. You know, they're probably looking at other reviewers and taking what they like out of their stream and then making it as their own. And I don't like that. It was the same when the Star Wars movies were out and when the Mandalorian, I noticed that, you know, some that weren't talking about were all of a sudden talking about it because they like talking about it. And I don't like it. I don't like it. If you're not going to watch the show, don't pretend to watch the show. I mean, Ballstreck watches Batwoman, right, and does the videos, but he puts himself through that suffering and pain to do those videos, to get those videos out. Same with the rest of the people out there that do. But I've noticed there is a few YouTubers out there, and that annoys me because I actually work hard on this channel. Then I see people that are basically like, you know, just using the main points or reading headlines and pretending that they've seen the episode when you can clearly see they haven't. And I don't like YouTubers like that. Go and stay in your own garden, as I say. You know what I mean? You're not a Doctor Who fan, you shouldn't be commenting on Doctor Who. It's as simple as that. Yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Disappointed my parents, so I'm sad.
Well, yeah, Doctor Who's disappointed your parents, yeah. They actually think Batwoman is actually better than...
They do enjoy
Doctor Who.
They think the writing's better.
Yeah. Which is sad, isn't it? And think about it this way. Doctor Who's getting beaten by Dancing on Ice. 10-year show that's actually on its way out. And it's getting beaten by Emmerdale. Sad. And these new fans are happy with that. They don't mind that it's being beaten by EastEnders or Emmerdale.
All of them.
All the soaps. Or even a 10-year Dancing on Ice show. No. It's a shambles. It's a shambles. Batwoman puts me asleep. I say it bloody does. See, I wouldn't pretend to watch Batwoman and then pretend review
I
it.
watched a full episode.
Oh, I know you have. Yeah, Cheryl's put herself through that rubbish.
I love my parents. That's how much I love my parents.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it. No matter how much I love your parents, I still wouldn't watch it. Do you know what? That's what we should do to our enemies. Give them Batwoman, right? The seasons of Batwoman, right? And the seasons of Chris Chibnall's era. Just put them on a deserted island somewhere. Give them a shack with a bit of electricity, a generator there, and just force them to watch Doctor Who and Batwoman 24/7. Doctor Who's gone back to be a complete laughing stock. It is. It is. Right, let's see if there's any new news. So I'll check now. Doctor Who news. Well, something about Ace explains, Sophie explains our book, but we don't care because you're going to lecture all the doctors. Jodie Whittaker answers questions from Twitter. Ooh. Let's see. I won't be able to play the sound. Actually, we pause it for a minute. It's an ad. Can they see that? No, not yet. All right. Let's see. I don't feel like dancing with the old Joe in the place. Right, hold on. Right, we have to get rid of this ad. Look at me. I'm a powerful woman. I'm running around in some mad leggings. Yeah. Look at me. I'm a man. I run around in the rain and I box. See, it's actually funny though. Right, there's Joe. Oh, I have to actually put the volume up on this thing. Right, there she is. She's got multiple TARDISes around her. Oh, she's doing her scrunchy face. She's only... Right, you know what? I don't care if this video doesn't get monetized, to be quite honest with you. There you go. Who gives a crap?
If I was able to ask the doctor, well, you can.
I don't know why it skips. That's stupid.
Question, it would be, how do you manage to balance a home / Time Lord lifestyle? I would say it creates chaos and havoc and epic adventure, but that is all the things you want from life. Hope that answers your question, Bryn. Joff has asked, you have a TARDIS and know how to pilot it. When would you go? Okay, I think I would go to Neptune in 50 years just to see if our lessons have been learned. If we have perspective from Neptune and we can look back on this beautiful universe.
Oh, there she goes. She couldn't help herself. She just had to feckin' rant. But actually, I want to say something. The Doctor cannot pilot the TARDIS because that's why the Doctor always ends up in places that the Doctor is not supposed to be at. Even whose Doctor said it? Matt Smith's Doctor. The TARDIS doesn't go where it's supposed to go, and then the TARDIS turned around and says to the Doctor, "No, boy, I take you where you need to go." Right? So all this, you can't fly the TARDIS. You're clearly not a Doctor Who fan, you little twat. And for you, how long are you in the video? 59 seconds, and you decided to have a bleeding yoki at us about bleeding climate, about the planet. We don't care. Sorry.
It's Neptune because in our solar system is the furthest away if we're not counting Jupiter. So I think it would give an excellent sense of perspective.
Would
That's
it?
what I would do. Also, Neptune's dark and stormy. I quite like a bit of atmosphere. Ryan Smith has asked, is the Doctor ever going to oil that squeaky hinge on the TARDIS door? I've got so many important things to be doing every day, like saving the universe. I've got to leave that to somebody else. Heather Roker has asked, odd thought for the day. Does the Doctor ever wash their clothes? You always see them in the same outfit, right? Is there a day where they just stay in the TARDIS in some PJs and wait for their clothes to be washed? No, I just don't think, particularly my Doctor, I don't think I have the patience for that. I think I've developed such an extraordinary outfit that it's self-cleaning.
Did you hear her there? So she's designed an extraordinary outfit. It's self-cleaning. Oh, what a way, man, to bleed and big yourself up. We know you designed the costume, but it's actually awful. And you're awful. And you come across as awful. And just looking at your face right now. And you notice something, guys. I've noticed something. All of these comments are mostly from men. Are you trying to convince us somehow that men love you? All those men that are actually tweeting you there, right, probably dream of having you in bed and nothing else. They don't like your Doctor, right? They don't. They just think about sleeping with you.
In capital letters has happened to Gallifrey. Do you?
Never trust a male feminist, they always say. And there's a reason, because they're creepy little perverts.
I think I'm going to spoil that now. I am not.
There's another bloke. Oh, no.
Covered in Bees, 67, has asked, has the 13th Doctor used any aliases? Doctor Who, I want to know what she will call herself when she can't say that she's the Doctor. Oh, so, well, I've got an excellent gadget called the Psychic Paper. And when I want to be a little bit sneaky and have a completely different alias, just flash my Psychic Paper. And 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, but the Doctor called himself John Smith, right? I think that's the question they were actually asking, and it's kind of flew over your head a bit. So what are you called? Are you called Mrs. Smith? Or are you called Joan Smith? What are you called? Like when you're not being the Doctor and you've got your Psychic Paper, what name is she actually using? What names has she used? She's just said she's an inspector or something mad crap like that. But that'll be interesting to see what name will you actually use. Look at the faces, man. This woman just irritates me.
It gives a wonderful description of what I think would be an appropriate way for me to sneak into a building.
I honestly don't care if this video is not monetized. I don't.
Sean Scott Smith. Doctor Who was fantastic last night.
Was it?
Has anyone ever sprouted a fan theory that the Doctor and the Master are the same being? Like a split personality? I believe it. I've never heard that. That might be one of those things that's a very big conversation online that I've missed.
Yeah.
I believe wholeheartedly that we are not the same person. But you can disagree. But I would say no. Hi, Marie. Your question is, anyone else want to give the Doctor a hug? No? Just me? Well, you can, because I love a hug. I'm very tactile. This is from Who fan site. Where do you think the 13th Doctor got those goggles from? They were in The Woman Who Fell to Earth, and now they're in the new series. Just curious, what do you think? Well, they were found by our extraordinary costume designer, Ray Holman, and they were loved so much by Jamie Childs, the director of The Woman Who Fell to Earth, and they got such a fantastic response that I think we brought them back again. But what I like to think of them as is my nod to Doc Brown, and if you don't know who that is, Back to the Future. Giant sinkhole of fun. Hashtag Jodie Whittaker is becoming another great hashtag Doctor Who. But it's always going to bother me that she was able to build a new sonic screwdriver. How did she build the software? She couldn't do that. She could. I know we are so clever sometimes. I was able to because I was able to steal something from Tim Shaw that helped me along the way. I was also in Sheffield and they have excellent.
No, you're not getting away with that one. No. She asked the question and you've kind of jumped over the question, right? The TARDIS makes the screwdriver. It's been established in New Who. So how would you be able to actually make the TARDIS Oh, to make the screwdriver with the software, you mean right? So it's got Stenza technology in it. We know that, right? But still, it still has no. She's jumped over that question. She does that. You know what? This is actually irritating. We've got 10 minutes of this crap.
Those were all the things that I needed, and a little bit of who belief in myself.
Dear, who believe? Well, it's a pity the fans don't believe in you. So like, believe. Oh, stupid thing. Oh, there's a thing that's good. Game of Thrones. No, it's not anymore.
Amy, now she has asked, why is the doctor being so secretive about where she is from? Now, I would say it's a Pandora's box to ask the doctor where they're from. And
right.
I think, particularly knowing how curious Ryan, Yaz and Graham are, they wouldn't accept necessarily the 1 or 2 word answer that I would be willing to give without revealing so much of my...
Right, I'm knocking this crap off if you don't mind. Right, because this is just torture beyond torture. This is like, see what I mean though? See that was 6 minutes. Could you imagine if we actually put that in a room full of enemies and had that playing on a loop? It drive them all crazy. But again, it is interesting that fan asking about the sonic screwdriver, because the TARDIS is definitely in New Who's being established anyway, that the TARDIS actually gives the Doc a new sonic screwdriver. And I think the sonic screwdriver, in fairness, the TARDIS is able to kind of stipulate what kind of screwdriver is going to be for that Doctor, because they're able to kind of sense the Doctor's personality. So the screwdriver, in my opinion, kind of reflects their personality. So, well, I suppose horse does look like a vibrator, but like, that's a whole different thing. He's getting all excited. Do us a favor, could you get the pink can out of the fridge, please? And a cuppy or a glassy. Thank you. Thank you. Right here, I'll get something to cheer you up, because I know that really did actually annoy us all. I didn't actually mean to keep it on for that long. Believe it or not. I don't know what's wrong with him tonight, but he's very barky. Right, Doctor Who news. Let's see if there's any headlines. Right. Right. Well, we already know about this, but I want to keep this in the public eye as well, for the simple fact of the matter is that, no. Did you get that off the sink?
Yeah.
No.
You want me to rinse?
No.
What's there? Did you put his bed down?
Right, here we go. Right, this article should be popping up any second now. Yeah, there we go. Right, so as we know, Rotten Tomatoes has been accused of deleting reviews. Now, the reason why I bring this up again is because we want to keep it in the public eye and showing the actual blatant, deception that's actually going on right now. It is true that I do believe that these current series 12 numbers have been boosted in some way and are actually lower than what we're actually led to believe. right? But the thing about it is now, I've actually spoke to a few people that have actually wrote on Rotten Tomatoes and haven't seen the review actually being put on Rotten Tomatoes. And some that actually have put comments on Rotten Tomatoes have actually had their comments deleted and then have had to end up try put the review back up. But then some of them are actually not. What's happening is they're holding the reviews back and they're not putting some of them up, so they're automatically deleting some reviews. Now, even though they've done all that and they've tried to delete as many negative reviews as they can, the rating is still low. But as I said, it doesn't matter what they do to the audience score. It's a simple fact. If you look at the critic score, the critic score is down from last year, and that's quite telling. No matter what you say about the audience score, you cannot rig the critic score. So let's have a look at this article, because I want to keep this in the public domain, because at the end of the day, what Rotten Tomatoes is doing, they're supposed to be independent, but clearly they're not. They're supposed to leave the reviews up. Now, don't get me wrong. I am for if people what do they call review bomb, or they just review it and they haven't seen the episode, right? But it's going to be very hard for a company like Rotten Tomatoes to actually distinguish between the two anyway. So you'll just have to, I think it's up to the public themselves to make an informed decision when it comes to what reviews they want to believe and what reviews they don't want to believe anyway. But this isn't good when you get Rotten Tomatoes doing it. Now, it was very interesting because a lot of us all speculated last year. And I remember Ballstrek even actually said it as well, because they were all covering the Captain Marvel nonsense when they actually, they changed the whole way reviews were done after the whole Captain Marvel business. So, we were speculating would they do it with Doctor Who. And it looks like they're not going exactly down the same route, but they are willing to go in there and delete comments. And they're not even shying away from the fact that they're doing it. Which actually surprises me. Well, let's read this article. I have to wait until this stupid ad. See these sites? I hate them. They've got all these ads because they want you to get the premium version of the site. So they fill it all with ads like this to make you get the premium. But I'm not going to buy the premium because they go. Doctor Who, Rotten Tomatoes accused of deleting reviews. And it's by the same guy, obviously, that did the article earlier on. So let's see what he has to say here. Rotten Tomatoes is once again being accused of removing reviews, this time for Doctor Who and doctoring the audience score. The movie review aggregate site owned by Comcast Fandango and run by a former executive at Disney has been accused of similar behavior for Captain Marvel and Disney Star Wars. Series 12 for Doctor Who is currently the lowest rated series for the show by fans at Rotten Tomatoes, with an audience score of 13%. Following Sunday's episode, the least watched episode in 31 years, and the least watched episode of the new series, fans took to Rotten Tomatoes to post their Doctor Who reviews, with some noting that previous reviews had been deleted or the current ones hadn't been posted. If true, that would mean the Doctor Who Rotten Tomato audience score is even lower than 13%. Exactly. That is the point. That is the point. But you can't rig the critic score, and the critic score is down from last year. So they could do whatever they want with the audience score. But the critic score, I don't really, as I said, it's there. Here. Can I delete this video finally? Bloody thing, come on. Right, there we go. Now it works. See, them videos do a lot. Doctor Who, Rotten Tomatoes audience score reviews getting deleted, fans react. Very disappointing. It seems they learned nothing from reviews of Series 11. On reposting this review, my force was removed, said a user of the site. Another user offered a similar experience. About half of the reviews, including mine, are gone. Rotten Tomatoes is doing their best to raise the user score and it keeps dropping to the low teens. This incarnation of Doctor Who is all preachy and holier than thou. Terrible writing, terrible pacing, and no originality. I actually read this out yesterday, so we don't have to read the whole. Oh, I will, because some of you might be new here. They keep borrowing from previous better episodes. The companions are useless and forgettable. Half of the time, I can't even remember their names. They need to return to one companion or at most two. With three, most of the time, one or two of them have nothing to do but busy work. This past episode, panicky police officer Yaz tries to control a crowd unsuccessfully. However, non-companion Thomas Edison gets people to flee with one sentence. But what is the point of having her to try clear the streets? People would run when seeing the aliens. It is because there is nothing else for her to do. Just skip this series. And then you can see more people are complaining there. I've read some of these actually out, but you can see there they said that I don't think my review was ever even posted after I submitted it. Commented another fan on the site. Chibi needs to giddy up on out. That's the gist. His vision has clearly failed. This isn't a matter of the audience unwelcoming towards change. It is the issue of poorly written dialogue, a poorly casted ensemble, and a misunderstanding of the genre. And let's be realistic, Doctor Who became its own genre over time. It has been misplaced, and that's what's off with this and the last. There's nothing clever about any of Whittaker's run so far. And then this one goes, where did my 2 reviews go for the first 3 episodes? Seems they got deleted, questioned another user. Well, I might post here again. The first 2 episodes were okay. Spyfall 1 and 2. I thought Doctor Who would pull itself out of the swamp. It got itself into Series 11, which was the worst I had ever seen. Well, what they did in the last episode 3, worst episode in the history of Doctor Who. Bad acting, poor plot, too many cast members running around with nothing to do. Please get rid of a couple of companions. Yes, Ryan needs to go. Yeah, no.
It says Yasmin, right? They may have spelled it.
All right. Oh. No, I think that a companion, yes, and Ryan needs to go. I think that's the way it's being said. I don't think they're asking for Yaz to go.
Get rid of a couple of companions, Yaz and Ryan.
No, I think it's saying because.
No, I disagree with that.
Well, I'm disappointed that my original rate was removed for no justifiable reason. Offered another fan. See, there you go. They're there though. They're showing. I'm showing you there now with this article. They're definitely deleting people's stuff on Rotten Tomatoes. But as I said, the audience score is very important because, not the audience score, the critic score is, because the critic score is down. So they can rig all they want. It's the critic score is down, and the critics are like everybody. I mean, look, I said it earlier and I'll say it again. Anybody that liked Orphan 55, I'm sorry, you've got bad taste and you're not a true Doctor Who fan. Because even the media and some that have defended this era said it's the worst episode of all time. We said it at the time, and there's a few of you that like it. I don't know why. If you like rubbish, that's fine, fair enough. But Doctor Who fans expect more, deserve this. This show deserves to be at a different level, and it should be at a different level. And unfortunately, as I've said many times on this channel, Jodie Whittaker, Chris Chibnall, and everybody else that's part of this show is not good enough. None of them are. And solving this issue isn't by forgetting about the main show and doing the spin-off, which some fans would like to see. I'm sorry, you get the main show right and then you can concentrate on your universe. I want Doctor Who to be the best that it can. And right now, it's not. And, you know, the writing is poor, but it is an improvement on Series 11, which says a lot. But Raymond is right there. They all need to go. And I agree. I'm just making sure nobody else has actually joined the live chat. I'd like to give people a call out if they've joined the live chat. Will Griffin has and Max are the new guys to the chat. Welcome, guys. Nice to have you here. It's an absolute shambles, and I just don't know where it can go from here. Because if it's rumored, this whole timeless child business anyway is gonna take us into Series 13. Now, whether that's going to be with Jodie Whittaker or not, that begs the question. This is why I think fans should boycott this, because apparently this whole timeless child situation is not going to be revolved in Series 12. Now, some of us that are very clever know where this is actually headed, right? So that's why I'm saying the boycott is important this year, and that people continue to boycott the show and people continue to turn off. Because if the ratings do get under get under 4 million and end up in the trees, right? They might have to abandon the whole timeless child storyline and all of this retconning of the male regeneration. So this is why it's important that you keep doing what you do. This because you have to look at the bigger picture, right? We're told by Chris Chibnall himself, and Jodie Whittaker has said that this timeless child thing is not going to be resolved overnight. Chris Chibnall's gone as far as to say that it's going to go as far as Series 13. So we can stop the whole. He'd probably do it, but then he'll probably have to reverse the fact that he was going to make it to be all a female line. He'll probably have to change the story because Jodie Whittaker will be gone. If Jodie Whittaker remains for the whole of Series 13, right? Well, then you're going to see Doctor Who being retconned. It's going to be that the female regeneration was supposed to be the right. There's a male line and there's a female line, right? The male line is obviously the line that we all know about. It's the dominant line. It's the line that we all know, right? Apparently, that's a lie. It was supposed to be a female line, right? So if she's still in the role, there's a chance that this storyline could develop more in Series 13, and that's what happens. This is why it's important that people that are still watching Doctor Who Series 12, and I've said it to you, if you don't like it and you're complaining, stop watching it now. Come and watch YouTubers like myself, Ballstreck, Gary, Doomcock, whoever's doing Doctor Who videos, and watch them. You'll get more entertainment from the reviews than you will watching this series. Trust me. The last 2 episodes especially, right, live streams that I've listened to or live streams that I've been involved in have been highly entertaining, more entertaining than the actual show itself, right? I should be sitting here every week like a little kid, talking to you and telling you how brilliant the Doctor was, how my mind was blown about this, what elements I loved, what the story arc or what me theories are. Right now, fans are coming up with some stupid theories. These new fans, oh, maybe it's Chloe Webber. You didn't even know who Chloe Webber was until other fans start mentioning it. Then he's Googled Chloe Webber, found out that she was in that episode, probably didn't bother his arses watching it, and then said, oh, I hope Chloe Webber's the timeless child. Idiots. Chloe Webber, the timeless child. And by the way, if that does happen, right, see Fairho, I absolutely hate that episode. It's one of the, do you know what? I get criticised for this. I love Love and Monsters, right? I put my hands up. I absolutely love it. It's a stupid story. It's ridiculous. It's got brilliant music in it. It's just everything that's stupid about Doctor Who. I love it. right? But you see that fair whore, I fucking hate it. I hate her mother. I hate the daughter. I hate the little alien. It's just all stupid. David Tennant acting the yoke with the bleeding the torch in his hand. Cheesy crap. The only good thing. Are you barking at me? The only good thing about that episode was the actual ending itself, where he looks up into the sky and he says something is coming. Right? I could feel it. There's something in the air, or something like that. He says, and the music changes. And then, of course, all hell broke loose in the next episode. But it was the ending itself was the only good thing. But Chloe Webber, right? It's not going to be Chloe Webber anyway. With the information that I've gotten, it's not. Jodie Whittaker is going to be playing dual roles, and yeah, apparently the mother of all Time Lords. Yeah, they're ripping off Game of Thrones kind of thing. Thingy, mother of all dragons and all that crap. And but yeah, as I said, we're at a position now where we can actually make a difference, and we need to start making a difference because, you know, I don't want this. I know people don't want this storyline. I don't want this storyline, right? None of us do, right? We don't want this to happen. It will disrespect everything. Who was Chloe Webber anyway? Colin, Chloe Webber was the little girl in Fair Whore. Her father was basically an evil pig, and she had this alien entity got inside her, and everything that she drew, she draw the kids and they disappear and they become drawn. So she draw the what she thought her dad would look like in the back of her wardrobe, and it was an evil entity thing. And so basically her mother and the daughter were in an abusive relationship. So don't get me wrong, in those terms, she'd be perfect for what Chris Chibnall wants to do because he likes to bash a man. So why not have a girl that has been basically abused by her father be the timeless child? Because, you know, well, all men are evil, including male Time Lords, you know, all this crap. Oh, the crap. Yeah, so that's not Chloe Webber anyway. Definitely not Chloe Webber. Yeah, the one that was singing the stupid song at the end with her mother to try get rid of the entity. Do you remember? Yeah. Stupid episode. Didn't like it. Good premise now. I have to say, the fact that, you know, drawing pen, the scribble thing was deadly as well. No, I have to say it was a good concept. I just didn't like the episode itself. I mean, the whole missing children thing in the one street was a creepy kind of underlying story in it, but then you got to find out what it was all about. But it's not one of my favorite stories. I love and Monsters for everything that it is. It actually reminds me of that Torchwood episode then few years later with the guy, I forget the name of it, but it's the guy that has the marble, the alien marble, and he dies and he's a kind of a ghost and he's gone around with the Torchwood team. Same kind of feel. Obviously, that episode in Torchwood was better, but I do like Love and Monsters for what it was, except for the creepy part at the end where he's talking to his slap girlfriend. That's exactly what it was, Daniel. The execution was poor on both. Fair Whore had potential, but yeah, I didn't like it. So no, I'm not. Just, you know why they say it's the timeless child? Because someone has taken a screenshot, and the timeless child is definitely a girl of color. So because it's a girl of color, they're saying it's Chloe Webber, right? But Chloe Webber appeared in Doctor Who Series 2, so that was 2006. She was already about maybe 11 or 12. So she'd be 18 right now or something. 18, 19. She'd be in her 20s now, right? There's no way it's Chloe Webber. So I don't know, because she looks like her, they all think it's Chloe. It's not Chloe Weber. It's not. They're gonna do what Gary from Neurotic said, right? He got some disturbing news a few months back, and we all thought it was a lot of crap. Even I thought I had debunked it because I thought they were doing it in the comic and other stuff, and I thought I debunked the rumor. And it's still stuck around. But not only that, now all the sources that all the sources that have normally been spot on, they have been spot on and have been ahead of the curve. They just weren't on this one. Gary's source was on this one. Everybody else was behind on this one because we all got the same information. So I kind of know what's going to happen. I know how they're going to do it and all. It's a rumor, so I'm not allowed to speculate. I'm not allowed to actually tell you what's going to happen. I can only tell you, that Jodie Whittaker might be playing a dual role. And as I said, it's rumor and speculation because I have to say that because apparently if I don't, I get into trouble. So I don't really. I mean, we have the Judoon coming Sunday, and apparently the Sea Devils are appearing because it's on IM BD, DB or BD. I always get confused with those two letters. Anyway, I've checked it, and there is an actor, and he says he's playing a Sea Devil. So the Judoon and the Sea Devils are in this episode apparently, right? So this is going to be interesting. Judoon and Sea Devils. Now I'm going to ask you guys actually in the chat, and if there's anybody still watching me on YouTube, on Facebook, if you are watching me on Facebook, if you have any questions on the Facebook group, throw your questions up in the live chat there, and I will answer them. I'm just checking real quick on Facebook because I actually put this stream up on a different Facebook group there. It says I'm live right there. So I decided I'd do it in a different group tonight. And we've gotten a like on it there as well, which is good. Thank you. But if you have any questions on Facebook, let us know. So the Sea Devils, yeah, we see what annoys me now is he's roped in classic villains now into this mess. And I'm just, I know there's some people out there that were saying they don't like the classic design, and that's fair enough. I can get you a point of view because obviously it is 2020 now, and they'd have to be updated. I just hope he doesn't go crazy because I haven't liked I didn't like his redesigned Dalek. The Cybermen, the rusty kind of looking Cybermen, I don't mind. They actually look okay. I don't mind the Judoon with the mohawk. I know there was loads of fans giving out about that at the time, but I think that was just at the point where everybody was just moaning about everything. I've no problem with the mohawk, right? I don't really care that they have mohawks. They still look like the Judoon. It's one little thing that's different, right? So I mean, he's been to a certain extent, except for the Dalek, he's been pretty okay when it comes to his redesigns. See, this is the thing now, right? I know he did something new last year, and there wasn't any old villains in it, except obviously we got the Dalek in Resolution, right? But this is the first time now that he's actually going to be doing villains that we actually know. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of the Judoon anyway. I don't see the point of them being in the episode unless he's going to elevate the Judoon to a different level. I'm interested to see if he can actually do that, because right now all we know about them is they're paid for hire police force, mercenaries as such, right? So I want to see, does he give them any more sort of development, or have they been hired by someone to find whoever it is? Now, I know a lot of fans are speculating that it might be the Doctor. I don't think so. I was given a piece of information, and again, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to say anything yet. But all I'll say is this: is that not all of the surprises have been revealed yet, and there's supposed to be one big surprise for this series that hasn't been. Actually, nobody has really spoke about it. So this could be interesting because the Judoon, all I'm saying is for people that are saying that the Judoon might be possibly looking for the Doctor or the Timeless Child or something, all I will just speculate and say is I don't think the Judoon are looking for the Doctor. I think the Judoon are looking for someone else but need the Doctor's help or go and seek out the Doctor because the Doctor might know where this character, let's just say, is. I've probably said a little bit too much there. Haven't given any names away, so I'm good. I'm proud of myself there because I normally slip up. But all I'll just say is that maybe the Judoon are not looking for Jodie Whittaker. But here's the thing: the Judoon and Sea Devils in the same episode. See, this is the thing as well. The dynamic between the Judoon and Sea Devils is going to be an interesting one as well. Because if I'm correct in saying, well, I am correct, this is going to be the first time that these two, if they do actually interact with each other, it's going to be the first time to see these two creatures, one from the classic era and one from the new era, actually interact with each other. Or is he going to use the Judoon as kind of a state police or a state army just to make a point, that they're being abused, they're being used wrong. You know what I mean? They're being used for a campaign of hate or something like that. He'll do something. He'll make them a political message of some sort. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. And I think he'll do the same with the Sea Devils. Now it's on IMDb, so me wife was telling me the only people that can do that is change that is the people that are acting themselves and the companies that are involved in this. So it's either changed by the BBC themselves or done by the actor themselves. So Sea Devils are supposed to, and I think it's a weird combination. I just see it as a weird combination, unless they're right at the end of this episode, and then they're in the episode a week later. That's the only thing that I could think of, because I can't see the Judoon and the Sea Devils can use. Anybody in the live chat there actually see the Judoon and the Sea Devils actually, I don't know, what's joining forces or something. Leland actually asks an interesting question. I'll throw it up there. Is there anything to suggest the Sea Devils will be more than a cameo, say a prisoner in a Judoon cell, mimicking that scene in Silence of the Lambs with all the prisoners? Whoa, interesting. Could be. As I said, they could just be appearing right at the end of the episode, It's gonna be a hard sell. I'm sorry, because I absolutely love the Sea Devils. As I said, I don't really give a crap about you. Look, I don't think the Judoon are crap. They're not crap. They're actually not a bad. I don't even know if you call them a villain. They're not bad, right? They're not bad looking. Space rhinos. I actually like the idea of the space rhino, right? I don't mind. It's just they haven't been in it enough. You know what I mean? And if this is his way of trying to give them a bigger role to play, then all well and good. But Chris Chibnall doesn't have his history with this show so far. Let's be honest, guys, it's not great. So I mean, again, you know, even though the Jadoon to me are not the biggest, you know, follower character out there, I don't really mind them. There is fans of this new era, especially 2005, that are attached to the Jadoon. So for those fans, I'd be a bit worried to see what they do. But for me, the big one is the Sea Devils. They have to get these right. And I said if the Sea Devils were appearing in Doctor Who, they must not disrespect. This is a classic Who villain now. This is like the Dalek was one thing. But this is now, this is it, like, because the Daleks are being run by Moffat as well, right? So even though Chibnall went one step further, we see the Daleks being ruined. So, you know, it was a softer blow as such. This is the first time we're going to see the Sea Devils in a long, long time. And I am absolutely petrified about what he's just going to do. And you're right, Lauren. A lot of people have said that it's just a copy and paste of RTD, but badly. That's exactly what Chibnall's Series 12 has become. A piss poor parody of what came before. And, you know, I'm not sitting here and saying that Doctor Who is the greatest program on TV, because it wasn't, right? But it was one of the best. And on its don't know what happened there. I tried to change something on the screen. That's what happened. Yeah. But anyway, that's all it is. Just a bad. I mean, like, I'm just terrified what he's going to do with them. It really bothers me because it's. We'll see. Have we lost? No, I'm here. Sorry, it just, I don't know what happened there. I pressed a different button. And what you call it, feckin', it went off, but I'm back now. As long as they're writing for politics instead of entertainment, it's all flush water, says Will. Perfect point, mate. I mean, this is where we're at, unfortunately. I just don't know. I just don't know what to say anymore about this. It's. I mean, I don't think it's gonna recover. I think the damage is done. It's a badly. He's just cherry picking the best ideas, and he's rehashing them, but he's doing it very poorly. I wish that the Doctor Who fans that are behind this could actually open their eyes and actually see this. And you know what the funny thing is, though? When you see them commenting, you can actually see that they're making comparisons to past eras, but they don't really make that connection. They're saying, oh, it's like this, but they're not actually coming out straight and saying, oh, yeah, he is cherry picking. They won't. And it's sad because, you know, you have to be honest with yourselves. I cannot believe that there was actually people out there that loved Orphan 55. I still can't, and it's 2 weeks down the line, and I still can't get my head around it. Can anybody tell me how someone liked Orphan 55? I mean, it was just James Buckley, is that his name? Jason Buckley, or whatever his name is, that poor lad from the In-Betweeners, right? He just, there was no point of him even Cheryl made the point. If you excluded the single father, he looked like a single father with that kid. If you took him out of that equation, right, just the father, right, kept the child. The show it still end the same way. It still go the same way. There was no need for having them. See, this is another thing as well that Chibnall has tried to do to pull the wool over his eyes. Did you notice last series he gave us this whole, this is who's going to guest star in Doctor Who next week, and he did a whole list of the names. But this year he's decided before the episode drops, he tells you who's guest starring, right? Because he wants to suck you in. So when you see big names, you're saying, oh, I'll watch this week because, oh, look who's in it. He's brilliant or she's brilliant. I'm going to watch it, right? But then you watch it and then they're literally in it for 5 minutes. It's like literally a cameo. What he has very cleverly done, except for us that have our eyes open, or maybe it's not cleverly, it's just those fans are so stupid that they just can't realize that they're being played. But it just shows you that he thinks he's being clever and he's trying to pull the wool over the eyes with all of this. Oh, look who we have. And look, these are all the villains we're going to have. You know what I mean? It's like, it's all member berries and all of these great guest stars, but nothing of real substance. And that's what we've gotten this year. Nothing of real substance and a boring series. I will sit here and say that Spyfall 1, when I did my review, I was actually surprised. I was actually shocked after Spyfall 1. Because I thought that night I was going to sit here and bash it, right? But I didn't. Because it was actually decent. If she toned it down, if she was still the bad point, we still did criticize. There was still criticism. But compared to the rest of the episodes, we gave Spyfall 1 a pretty good rating, a pretty good overall. It was average. It was decent. If you lowered your expectations, it was good, right? But then you got Spyfall 2. And for me, that's that's where I'll actually no. After the end of Spyfall, was it Spyfall 1 we got the reveal? No, the master. Yeah. So Spyfall 2 was the end, yeah, the Gallifrey reveal at the end. Yeah. So Spyfall 2, then we got the whole ridiculousness of Spyfall 2, and apparently this historical episode with 2 famous women in it, but actually no history learned and nothing about those characters new learned or anything like that. We didn't learn that, but apparently it was a great historical episode. Oh, and to boot, we had Nazis. And we also had a master of Asian descent that was able to fool the Nazis by using some perception filter to hide his race away from these racists. Right? And the fact that the doctor actually, or the master actually linked up with the Nazis in the first place, and then secondly, then the doctor to reveal his identity so the Nazis then could actually kill him. And then you have the whole Gallifrey nonsense, right? And then I thought it can't get any worse than this. And then of course we got Orphan 55. And by the way, it was 5 minutes into the episode. You can ask Cheryl. I said, this is Earth, because that's how predictable he is. Because he thinks he's clever, but you can't fool me, Chris Chibnall, because you know what, mate? Doctor Who fans are are more cleverer than you'll ever be, and you will not fool Doctor Who fans. The only fans that you're fooling are the brainless, mindless sheep out there and people that like rubbish. All right? And you've ruined the show in the process because you're writing for people who like rubbish instead of actually writing for fans who will actually enjoy this show, will actually buy the merchandise and make a shit ton of money for the BBC. But no, you want to pander to the Rainbow Warriors, you want to pander to every other bloody demographic except the demographic that actually kept this show a success, right? The classic fans, right? The fans that stuck around, sorry, Teddy, the fans that stuck around for over 50 years. Do you want to say hello to everybody? I'll put the camera back on again and we let everybody say hello, right? There you go. Here, come here. Come on. There. Say hello to everybody. There you go. Don't mind me hair. I wouldn't even mind, like, I need a haircut. That's what it is. Now, say hello to everybody, Teddy. There you go. Now, here, look. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, they need to stop pandering to all these different demographics and actually concentrate on the fans that are actually going to make money for your organization. I mean, they've totally went in a direction that has actually excluded us as fans, and it's unforgivable. And then they wonder why they're in trouble. And all of these other gobshy fans out there that are saying, "Oh, the ratings don't mean nothing. The ratings don't mean nothing." The only ones that are making a big deal out of the other side because they're so desperate. No, we're not desperate. We're desperately trying to save our show, right? Yous are desperate to keep this era going because as long as it's going, you have some sort of representation or something or whatever it is you want Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall to be in the job. It's definitely not for their talent anyway, because the two of them don't have talent. This dog right here has more talent than the two of them put together. Isn't that right, Ted? You're smarter than Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker, aren't you? Yeah. Seriously, I'm absolutely annoyed. That's why I don't be on camera that much anymore, because I get so highly annoyed. I just can't look at the anger in my face. It's ridiculous. Sorry, Teddy. Now, yeah, I agree with you. It is too late to save the show. Let's be honest. Yeah, I agree with you. It is too late. You're right. It is. So we'll see. Well, the rumor I've heard, Super John, like a lot of the other people that are actually involved in source information. Now, as you all know, before this series obviously kicked off, this channel was actually breaking news on this series of Doctor Who, and we've pretty much got everything spot on. So the latest from the sources that have been getting me information off is that Jodie Whittaker will be in series 13, but she'll be only in the first couple of episodes, maybe the first episode. Now, as you all know yourselves, there is a regeneration episode. Everybody knows that there's a regeneration episode that was filmed. Now, as I said earlier on, if fans continue to boycott this show, which they have, right? And if other fans continue that trend, right, with this Sunday's episode, Monday, we will know, right? If there is a continuous, as I said, I think it's going to be a slow decline, right? If the numbers get down to a certain extent, they have this, and this is how stupid the BBC are run now. They knew that there was negative reaction to Series 11. So they decided for Series 12 that they'd do Series 12, but they'd have a couple of different endings, and they'd also have a regeneration episode. Because if it got so bad, that what they could do is they could do one of the endings that they have, and then do the regeneration episode, and then she's gone, new Doctor in. Bob's your uncle. Right? So this trend that we're seeing right now for the first 4 episodes needs to continue all the way through the series for BBC then to make a decision, right? So with 2 episodes to go, they might decide, okay, she has to go. So this is the way we're going to end it now. And Bob's your uncle. Done. And then she's gone. And then we can hopefully try start again. But I do agree. I think it's mortally wounded now. I don't think there's any hope of it surviving. I don't know. Might limp on for a couple of more years. You never know. We might get lucky. We might get a great actor in the role, and we might actually get a showrunner who actually cares about Doctor Who and respects its canon and actually respects tradition and respects the fans. And you never know. You never know. People said the same thing. See, people keep reminding me. No, remember, people said the same thing when Doctor Who was cancelled before and it came back. And you know what? They have a point. They do have a point. But we'll see. There's an interesting question by Lauren there. She says, do you think Tony Hall's resignation is linked to the massive failure of their last flagship show? Well, Doctor Who isn't the only flagship show that's actually in trouble. We've also spoke about Top Gear. Top Gear and Doctor Who were the ones that made them the most money. But of course, when you get rid of the three main presenters of that show, then the show is always going to suffer, unfortunately. So yeah, BBC Studios, we actually did it there. Actually, I'll see if I can actually get that article up and show you real quick. I know I did a video on it, but I can actually show you while we're here. We won't read the whole article, of course. I won't read the BBC article on it because but there's an interesting one. I'll just read the headline. It just says BBC at risk of losing a generation of viewers due to diversity. BBC at risk of losing young viewers according to Ofcom. Where is that article? It's actually weird when you try, you know. Where is this? Oh yeah, I hate the way they do that. So there was a BBC article up. Who did it? If I can think who wrote the article, then that would be better. Well, anyway, I'm still gonna try look for it, but I'll talk to you while I'm looking. So apparently, anyway, they lost. I read the article out. That's why I know there's an article, because I read it out. But now that I can't actually find it here, and it was actually in the top results. But that's interesting. Here, we'll just put this up first anyway, because this is interesting. Actually, BBC are at risk of losing their young audience. So we'll just flick through real quick. I'm not going to obviously read it all because, you know, it's probably the Guardian big article and they probably want me to bloody sign in or something, which is a pain. Right, we'll get this article up and show you. Right, let's see, is it up on the screen? There we go. Right. So, there it is. So, BBC at risk of losing young audiences according to Ofcom. Our broadcaster must prove itself to viewers more used to Netflix, YouTube, says Watchdog. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, we do our best on YouTube, I have to say. You know, us YouTubers, we try to entertain the public, and I think we do better than the BBC right now. I'm only messing. I wish. No, but we do entertain the BBC. We do entertain the public more than the BBC, better than the BBC. The BBC is at risk of losing a generation of young viewers have drifted away to such services as Netflix, YouTube, potentially putting the future of TV license fee at risk, according to the media regulator. Well, that's exactly what needs to happen. So Ofcom said the corporation must do more to make the case that BBC is worth supporting to audience who have grown up with YouTube as their main source of video and who now instinctively turn to social media channel for news. Well, they would, because you will find there's something on YouTube for everybody. No matter what your beliefs, your ideology, whatever, no matter what your entertainment, what entertains you, there's something for everybody on YouTube. Now, BBC is not the only company that would struggle with this. A lot of television companies would. But because BBC is the biggest one in the UK, it's talked about. But they're not going to compete with YouTube or any of these others. This is why you have BritBox now. They're they're trying to get into the streaming because they know that's where the future is. But unfortunately, you know, we're in the middle of the streaming wars. But remember, the streaming phase will disappear at some stage. BBC, the challenge that BBC and other companies will have is they'll have to reposition themselves and be ready for when people decide they've had enough of streaming. Because TV habits change over the years, which is true, but ratings do still count. And that, you know, so let's see. So among the stark findings laying out the challenges for the BBC were that fewer than half of Britons between the ages 16 and 24 watch traditional live BBC television in the average week. Younger viewers are twice as likely to watch BBC programmes on Netflix than on BBC's own iPlayer service, suggesting that they may not know that the popular shows such as Doctor Who and Peaky Blinders were created using license fee money. Children in their early teens are more likely to recognise the YouTube and Netflix brands than the BBC. But this is not just the BBC though, but I know why they're focusing on the BBC, as I said. But this is what all these television stations are actually going to have a problem with, because we are at a streaming. The one thing that I don't like about streaming is this, right? If you want, say, stream on Apple, you have to buy that subscription. You want to stream on Netflix, you have to buy on that, Amazon Prime, Hulu, all of them. You have to pay for all of these. Television is going to become more expensive. Streaming is going to become more expensive than actual regular television. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, the advantages of that is obviously is that you can create your own television. Basically, you can create what you watch on television, which is great, I suppose, in some way. But is it really worth paying all that money for? That is the thing. And it says younger listeners are twice as likely to listen to commercial radio than BBC radio stations. Well, that's true for we have RTE, and I listen to the commercial stations. That's nothing new there. We don't have to go into all of this there, but there you go. Apparently, you know, there's a bit of a criticism there, despite this criticism. See, they don't really care, BBC, but they might start changing their tune now because, you know, Doctor Who is in serious trouble, as I said, and yeah, they're in trouble themselves. They're getting attacked everywhere now, you know. They're getting attacked everywhere, left, right, and centre. Let's see, we'll go out of that. Let's see if there's that in there. Ba 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 ba. Da, 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 da. Doctor Who knows? Right, we'll do one more here, see what goes. We'll see if there's anything new. Digital Spy 59 minutes ago. Right, let's she confirms something here. Let's see what they're saying. What's she's saying? Oh, she confirms her future on the series. Oh, and there's a male feminist there. There's a male feminist there. Yeah. Maybe not. We'll see. Right, so Doctor Who star Jodie Whittaker confirms her future on the series. Oh, brilliant. Oh, crap. It's from this Digital Spy to get away. That was ages. This video, this was ages ago. Why is rehashing all crap? That video was ages ago. Right, let's see what it says anyway, right? So Jodie Whittaker isn't going to be turning over the keys to the TARDIS on Doctor Who just yet. The 13th Doctor and her fam are only partially through their 12th series, but it looks like the return of the Master won't be finishing them off after all. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly this week, Jodie let let the big news slip, perhaps accidentally, that she will be back for the 13th series. Well, as I said, technically, yeah, she'll be back for the 13th series, and then she'll be killed off after the first episode. So, yeah. I'm doing another season, she said. This might be massive exclusive that I'm not supposed to say, but it's unhelpful for me to say I don't know because it would be a massive lie. She then spoke of Doctor Who in general. I absolutely adore it. At some point these shows are going to be handed on, but not yet. I'm clear. No, you dirty, rotten little. I know what you're at the doing there. Oh my God. There was an article last year, and I don't know if it's still up, but it's the same bloody line he's quoting. So basically, the rumor was after Series 11, as we know, Chaos in Cardiff, and there was an article. Are Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall is Jodie Whittaker handing over the keys and Chris Chibnall leaving after just one series or something? And this is the line that she says exactly in that article. So what he has basically done, if I'm not correct in saying, I am correct in saying, is he's rehashed an old article and tried to make it out, you dirty, rotten little, oh, you shill, dirty, rotten pig. She spoke to Doctor Who and it's the same line. I absolutely adore it. At some point, these shoes are going to be handed on, but it's not yet. I'm clinging tight. The same bloody line. Digital Spy has reached out to the BBC. See what I mean? So hold on. They spoke to so Jodie Whittaker said it, but then now you are reaching out for more information on the status of the rest of the cast for Series 13. Before fans get too excited about the next series, Jodie teases that the Doctor's upcoming run with the Cybermen is going to be unlike any of the previous encounters. The Cybermen have got a lot of presence on set, Whittaker says. Yeah, that's because you've got none. When they move into unison, it's incredible. It's really exciting. And there's that Cyberman. I have to say, I have no problem with that Cyberman design. I actually don't. And if anybody criticizes it, they're just criticizing it because they're looking for something to criticize about. But I actually do like that. There's nothing wrong with that Cyberman. Let's just see if he does them at justice. This coming weekend's episode features more familiar monsters, with a platoon of Judoon nearly caused a riot in Gloucester as they arrived in search of the intergalactic fugitive, and we did break the Judoon on this channel. 5 hours before BBC officially told the public, we broke the news on this channel that the Judoon were coming back, and we actually gave that location too, and we were spot on about that as well. But yeah. So basically what he has done is he's used the line what a lot of these medias do. And I'm going to try find that article, to be quite honest with you, because that very same line, I absolutely adore it. And at some point these shoes are going to be handed on, but it's not yet. I'm clinging on tight. And that's when all the J-bots came out then and said, she's going to be in Series 12. So he's basically rehashed, you dirty, rotten, what's your name? Justin Harp, you ought to be ashamed of yourself putting up fake articles or fake quotes from a year. Actually, it's a real quote from a year ago. Well done, but you all do that anyway. You think we don't know, but like you do it all the time. It's been proven because when I did an article on K9, and I think they're still both up on my channel. I did an article on K9 because there was rumors that K9 was coming back for a show, which was true, but it all depends which company took it up. If BBC took it up, there'd be Doctor Who references in it. If a different company picked it up, there'd be no Doctor Who references in it. But they said that it was basically going to be riveted, that the new K9 was going to be riveted and all, and it was going to look rusty and old, right? And then a couple of days later, they talked about the Cybermen, right? And the exact same lines, the exact same article. They basically just changed a few lines in the article. A lot of these journalists do this, And shame on them for doing it because they think Doctor Who fans are stupid. You see, real Doctor Who fans aren't stupid, but J-bots will buy this crap, right? Because they don't do proper research. Sorry, Teddy, but it annoys me when journalists lie, Teddy. That is not on, isn't it not? Come here, Teddy's not having it. Come here to me, buddy. That's not on, Teddy. They're lying about something, right? They're basically using the old quotes and pretending that this is a new article. And I don't like it. Hate people like that. Shh, no, shh. You don't need to shout. Mammy's gonna come in and get you now if you do that. But I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. That's what they're doing. They're basically rehashing old quotes. It was the same with the Chibnall quote. You remember where he kept saying, "Oh yeah, we haven't actually left. We've continued on." They've used that same quote up until right now. They just keep using the same quote. Like we don't. You know what I mean? They don't hide it anymore. That's the problem. They're just blatantly lying to the public. I hope I find that article again because I'm being honest with you. You know, I'll put this side by side up. It'll just be funny. Funny. Some of these journalists don't even go and actually do proper research. Their digital spy editor probably goes to them, right, we need an article on Jodie Whittaker. Just throw one out there, you know. And he'll go, all right, yeah, I'll just find a quote that she said a year ago and I'll write a whole article around it. And that's exactly what he's done. I don't know. I still can't find this article, folks. This is doing my head in. Right, Doctor Who, Series 12. 10 huge questions. All right, what culture? Another shill media site. But we'll see what these have to say. So they have 10 questions apparently after 10 huge questions after Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. I will throw it up there now on screen share. Just give us a second there. I see Ben has also joined the live chat. Welcome. We will be finishing up pretty soon. As I said though, if there's any more articles tomorrow, I'll throw them up. You know, use ourselves. Might even do one live or something, and we'll have a bit of a chat. See how everybody is. See Lee Anthony Davis is there as well. Welcome. Nice to have you on chat. Do us a favor, guys, as you can see there, scrolling down on the screen. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I didn't know you could actually do that. You know, it's brilliant when you find out these new things. Right, I'm gonna pop this up on the screen now in a second. I'm just waiting for all these. See, what I'm doing is I'm deleting all the videos first, you know, and all this crap that comes on before I put it up on the screen, so we can just get straight to it. Right, I think we're nearly there. Why is it still loud? So I know they have to put ads up because they have to make money, but I'm really have to seriously consider getting an ad blocker or something because this is just ridiculous. Either that or I need a more high. But this is a Chromebook and it's a feckin' deadly Chromebook, so there should be no problem with it. Right, so well, that's still loading like an idiot there for no reason. And Noel, you are awesome, says Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. You're awesome too. You're awesome too, my friend. We love having you on here as well. You're a friend of the channel. Daniel's been with us from the beginning, And we do have Daniel on. We do bring Daniel on the odd time for an L panel. He used to ring in all the time for the live phone-ins, which we will get back into. Obviously, when the show ends, we'll be doing some classic streams. We will be doing phone-ins. And obviously, we will be doing, because there will be a fallout to this series. There will be an analysis period as well. So, there's still plenty to go. But then, obviously, we will have to think of plans, because right now, Doctor Who is on TV. So it's in the public consciousness right now. So we're doing well with viewers watching and stuff. So we'll have to, when it comes to when the series is over, we will have to start coming up with some great ideas. And this time I'm going to keep them to myself because I've noticed when I mention an idea, or when I used to mention ideas last year, I'd mention an idea, it'd be a great idea, but I'd say, yeah, do that. And then someone else would jump in there and get it done before me. So then I wouldn't do it. I try to be as unique as I can on this channel. And if you've had seen the trailer, I don't know if anybody's seen the new trailer that Bad Wolf 66 done for the channel. It's just a pity. It's just a pity I can't get it. I don't know. See this article, right? Guys, I'm not messing. I've been loading this article, believe it or not. That's why I've been talking here, because I've been trying to load this article, right? Ah, oh, Jesus. It's no wonder. It's a fucking huge article. Right, hold on. I have to learn how to do this anyway. So I'm going to try paste it. Right, so you paste it and then you share it. Okay. Yeah. I'm an idiot. Why does everything have to be so hard? Right. So, yeah, you have to go in. I'm an idiot. So, you have to more tools. Just give us a second, guys. I have to start learning all this stuff there. Paste. Right. So, do I paste or copy? Paste. Right. And then it goes in paste it in the in here, you idiot. In there. Can I do it in here? Oh, I'm just useless. I give up. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll read it out for you tomorrow night or something. We'll go live for an hour or something, and I'll do a couple of more articles. It's a huge article. Apparently 10 huge questions they have to ask about Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. It should have been called Night of Boredom. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know what was terrifying. Oh, it's copy and then paste. All right. I'll learn. I'll learn as I go along. I didn't even know you could put this scrolling thing underneath the yoke, and I bought we got the premium, like, you know. So yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm learning as I go along.
What are you trying to do?
It's all right. I have to learn anyway. He did pull his blanket out. I know he's lying out on the floor because that's just what Ted. That's what just Ted does. He's a badass. He just gives it loads. This should actually work. He's right. 17 megabytes. This should actually work. I'm just going to see if I can get that to work again, because Bad Wolf put a lot of effort into that trailer. No, it's saying, oh, whoops, this is a bit, 30 seconds is the maximum length. Oh, it can only be 30 seconds. Well, ain't that wizard? So that's the problem. Well, Battle Wolf, if you're still in the live chat, that's the problem. There we go. We've solved the actual problem. Apparently, the video can only be 30 seconds, which I've never heard of in my life, mate. But because all your hard work and effort that you actually put into that video, well, it's up on YouTube anyway. So if anybody wants to actually check out the old trailer that he actually made for me for the channel, it was supposed to be put on at the start of the stream, but yeah, that's actually at the annoying me there now, because all that effort. The title was the most exciting part. It was. I mean, look, if you analyze that episode, and if you have done it very cleverly, I just haven't gotten into the analysis of this because I just can't be bothered. And I know that sounds bad, but I'll bring the panel on. I'll have me say. The panel will have their say. We'll rate. We'll talk about the things, but I just don't want to analyze this because it'll depress me. There's other YouTubers that do it, and I listen to their analysis and I enjoy it. I just like to talk about and just tell why I don't like it. You know what I mean? There's others that like to go into deep analysis. That's why you will see everybody I get on the panel is different. You got Blue Bonnet Hoovy, and then you got our husband, and our husband likes to get into the kind of the nitty gritty of it, the dialogue and stuff like that. Analyze it, and then we've got the rabbi who doesn't like the PC nature and the preachy nature of the show, and Blue Bonnet and myself are like, we just don't like anything. We just don't like it. Shouldn't have changed the gender, shouldn't have, the too many changes made to the show. Don't understand the show. So the panel is pretty we all don't like the series, but we've got different opinions on why, and that's why I actually like. That's why I didn't. That's why I don't analyze it, because it'll depress me. Why did they not have a cold start intro? Yeah. Every cloud has a silver lining. The reactions and guys like you, Noel, bring a lot of entertainment. Thank you very much. I do go on a bit of a rant here and there, and I might be a bit much for some people out there, but that's because I'm just passionate. That's all it is. People think I'm angry. I'm not angry. I don't be angry. It's just passion, and it comes across. Sometimes it does come across, people are saying, look at me, he's angry. I'm not angry. It's just raw passion that I have. See, the fans like that will never understand, and will never understand, because, it's something that we've grown up with. It's in the consciousness. It's in the public mind. Even fans of that ardent fans of Doctor Who, but know of the show, don't like where it's gone, and they're not even fans of the show. So that tells you, people know that Doctor Who's a British institution, right? It's well known. It doesn't matter even if you're a Doctor Who fan or not. Everybody in Britain knows Doctor Who, right? And someone made the point earlier, Doctor Who has become, unfortunately, a laughing stock again. And it was the butt of jokes and ridicule for many years, and now it's become the butt of jokes and ridicule once again. And Doctor Who fans have suffered enough, right? They had the show off air for long enough, right? They finally got it back, right? Finally got it back. And, 2005, it got off to a brilliant start. And we all have to be honest. I didn't think it was going to be as successful as it was. But, Rose wasn't the greatest episode in the world, but it introduced us to the Doctor and to see the Doctor and the TARDIS, to hear the TARDIS. As I said, even hearing the TARDIS for the first time in all those years, and to see the new TARDIS, it was just, I felt like a kid again. I felt like a kid that woke up on Christmas morning, right? And that's the way I should feel watching Doctor Who each week. A kid, Christmas morning, dying to open the presents to see what's inside. That's the way I should be when it comes to Doctor Who. Sitting down at the TV, watching, waiting to see what happens. As some people have even said, diving behind the sofa because you're that scared, because something has scared you, or going, wow, look at that, I can't believe he did that, or something like that, or oh wow, that was brilliant, I didn't see that coming. You don't hear that in Doctor Who anymore. And it sickens me. And it makes me sad. And you won't be sure, and you sure won't be getting Doctor Who Christmas night, says Cheryl. Did you change your avatar? She must have changed her avatar. Oh, Spa, yeah, it's definitely Cheryl. Do sports or something. Or go sports. It's definitely Cheryl's avatar. She must have changed it. But no, seriously. But again, even the Christmas thing, it became part of our Christmases. It's become a thing that we look forward to Christmas Day as Whovians. And here's the thing though. Do you know what the funny thing about it is though? Is that not only Whovians were disappointed that there was no Doctor Who Christmas Day, even the casual viewer, because it became a Christmas Day staple. It was a show that people, whether even if they were casual fans, they would actually watch the Christmas episode. They would actually sit down and give it a go. Yeah, people would look. I even remember some Christmas episodes. I was like, what was Moffat trying to do there? Especially Moffat's ones. I was like, but we still had it was still like something we could talk about Christmas Day and then the next day. And then it was just like, even that we'd watch it again. I remember we'd actually watch it, record it while we were watching it, and then we'd watch it again straight after just to see if we missed that. And now you can't even put Jodie Whittaker's era on and watch it again, see if you missed that. Because if you do, there's a chance you might fall asleep. And if you're actually operating heavy machinery, you could end up killing yourself. I'm sorry, I know some people are saying they're sad and they feel like crying. I'm not trying to make people feel sad. I'm actually trying to make people realize how this show used to make me feel, and a lot of other people feel. And I suppose that's why you're sad, is because you had that feeling. Everybody knows they had that feeling in the live chat. Everybody that's listening to me right now has had that feeling, whether it be Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek, it doesn't matter. You've all had that feeling. You don't get that feeling with any shows today. There's a few that are exception to the rule. I'm really enjoying the Orville, and the way they handle social issues on that show is the way Doctor Who should be doing it. And let's be honest here, Seth MacFarlane, as far as I'm aware, is not known for his sci-fi writing. So for that guy to produce what he's producing is actually is amazing compared to what Chris Chibnall is producing. So I mean, look, I know I've said you need sci-fi writers, but again, you can prove you can write sci-fi if you have some writing ability, which Seth MacFarlane does actually have. And then he made sure that he got people around him that actually had sci-fi experience. That's how you do it. That's how you do your clown, Chris Chibnall. If you, fair enough, you want to do something new, but bring in sci-fi writers, help you. But no. I'm not bringing in sci-fi writers because I'm going to do it my way. It's my way or the highway. No, he doesn't give a crap. He doesn't give a crap about your show, right? Doesn't give a crap. He doesn't give a crap about William Hartnell. Doesn't give a crap about Patrick Troughton, John Pertwee, Tom Baker, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann, John Hurt, Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi. Doesn't give a shit about any of them. You know, this show has broke me. I should say, sorry, this iteration of Doctor Who has broke me. Before Jodie Whittaker became the Doctor, before Chris Chibnall took over, me as a Doctor Who fan was still quite critical of Moffat, but I still enjoyed Doctor Who. And I said I enjoyed Doctor Who. Now all I have is contempt and hatred for something that I've grown up watching. And I don't know if anybody knows how that feels. Because, you know, to some people out there, it's just a TV show. To some of us, this show means more. It's more. It's the whole message. It's the Doctor, what the Doctor stands for. It's, you know, we latch on to a character, we latch on to something that has we have some emotional connection with. And I have that emotional connection with Doctor Who. But right now I can tell you that every time I tune in and watch these episodes, every week my heart is breaking. And I said I am gonna get through it, but this is torture for me right now. This is the worst. This is the worst I've ever felt watching Doctor Who. Doctor Who always put a smile on my face, or made me cry, made me laugh, or blew my mind away. Nothing that Chris Chibnall has done any of those things for me, except bore me to death. And that's sad, because I don't want to be sitting here every week slamming a show that I love. And it actually kills me doing it, but I cannot lie to myself. I cannot lie to this fandom. I have to tell it as it is. And when people praise it, I'm gonna call it out and call it for what it is. Bullshit. Because, you know, there's nothing. Series 12 is an improvement on Series 11, but Series 11 stoops so low that you can't say that Series 12 is brilliant. It's not. If this was in an RTD era or Moffat era, it'd be the worst series of their eras. By far, it'd be the worst series, either Series 11 or Series 12. It doesn't matter which series you use, the Chibnall's era. Both of them are that bad that if they were in a Chibnall or if they were in a Moffat era or an RTD era, they'd be bad. They'd be the worst series. Even if they were in Classic Who, which is being established right now, this era is going to be, I'm telling you, for all those fans that hate the classic eras, the classic series near the end, they're going to look like Oscar-winning pieces by the time Chibnall's finished with Doctor Who. And do you know what's happened? Do you know what's happened? The good thing about this era, and the only good thing that's happened is that it's made fans go back and watch Classic Who. It's made fans go back and watch the RTD and the Moffat era, and every single Classic Who era and every single New Who era up until Peter Capaldi is being reassessed. And there's some fans out there that have never watched Classic Who, that have only watched New Who since 2005, that have turned their backs on it and are now going back and watching Classic Who. And obviously, you've got the whole Big Finish stuff as well. So that's the one good thing about this era. It has helped reconnect fans to Classic Who and early RTD and Moffat eras. So, that's the only good thing, and that's sad. And now we don't have Christmas specials anymore. We don't have anything of anything anymore. He has completely changed the show that it's unrecognizable. And even bringing these old villains back, he is trying some way to claw us all back, but you've lost. You've done your damage in Series 11 and you're paying. You're paying for it because we told you were going to pay for it. So this is what you deserve. This is what you get for ignoring the fans. And as I said, for every fan that has supported this era, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, because you have helped bring down one of the greatest shows that we could have had on television. Seriously, he's responsible for bringing down one of the greatest shows we could have had. Doctor Who had its time of greatness, and that was the classic era, and we should cherish that, and we should protect that. And right now, that's under threat from this guy. So continue your boycott. Do everything that you have to do necessary. As I said, if you've been thinking about for a long time to set up a YouTube channel, to talk about this shit show, do it. We need more voices out there. We need people telling these fans how it is. Because the media, even though the media is starting to turn, they're not going to go and do a full 180. Is it 180? Yeah, they're not going to do a full 180. So it's up to us to continue to do what we do, inform the fans. And as I said, YouTube has a great platform when they don't mess around with it. But the best thing about YouTube is, if people don't like my reviews of the series, there'll be a YouTuber out there that you will like their reviews. And that's the great thing about YouTube. There's different reviewers out there. So, if you don't watch me, you can watch someone else. And the best thing about it is you'll be more entertained on those streams than you will be watching this series. And that's bad. When the show gets beaten by Emmerdale, Coronation Street, and a 10-year Dancing on Ice show that's on its last legs, then it's RIP for Doctor Who. And with that, I am going to say farewell. Have a good evening. And I will be back tomorrow. I'll do a couple of articles tomorrow, an hour just early. It'll be during the day, early enough. And then I will see you on Friday for a panel. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a couple of guests for a panel. And then Sunday, we have obviously the review of what's it called? What is this new episode bloody called? The Judoon one. Let's see. Probably got a stupid name. The Man from the Moon Who is a Judoon. I'm only messing. What's it called? Doctor Who. Someone will tell me in the comments. It'll be just easier to look at the comments now. What's the name of this latest episode? This latest travesty. Boredom of the Judoon, says Ben. I love it, Ben. I love it. I don't know what it is. Oh, The Fugitive, is it? The Fugitive of the Judoon or something like that. Hold on, Doctor Who. What's it even called? Doctor Who Series 12. Right, let's see. And it must have been love, but it's over now. Yeah, well, that article from Digital Spy was dropped an hour ago, by the way. There it is. Radio Times. Let's see what it's called. Now I'm just fascinated. Before everybody go, I'm just fascinated to see because some of these names have been pretty. They've been all right this year. Last year, some of them were just very hard to pronounce. So at least this year, some of them are actually not too bad. They keep talking about that timeless child. Yeah, what's the name of the episode? Is that the name? I thought. By the way, that name that I gave you there was a piss take. That wasn't the real name of the Jadoon episode. I just was taking the P because it's actually Fugitive of the Jadoon. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, I still find it difficult sometimes to say Jadoon on the moon, on the spoon. Got the skill that now see around it there now. Right, listen, folks, have a good evening. Thank you all for joining me. Don't forget, as I said, to share, like, and subscribe. I've been your host with the most, and I will talk to you I'll talk to you tomorrow, and then talk to you Friday, and then with Sunday we'll have this panel. And yeah, just be warned, if I come on Sunday and you don't see me face, then you know that it's been a very poor episode. Yeah, we don't want that to happen.